Hi guys, welcome to a new video. Today we're going to look at one of my ficus trees. This is one that I trunk chopped, and it was just one of those store-bought, S-shaped sort of trees. You can see in here, maybe, but right there is where I did the trunk chop because that trunk continued on up, and it was just really not desirable, I didn't think. So what I did, I chopped it there, and when I chopped it, this branch over here on the left side was the only branch that it had. It came out from here and grew out. That's the only branch it had on it. All this stuff on top was, sprouted and kind of grew after the fact. And what I wanted to do was grow a new leader for the top of the tree, and it's kind of done that. That's why I've let this top grow really long. But as I'm looking at it, and I don't know if you can see it yet, but we'll get in here a little closer. But try to get some of these leaves out of the way. But you can see in here, the wire is starting to bite into the trunk. I let this grow pretty much all summer. Probably should have tended to it sooner, but I was just kind of hands off letting it grow because I wanted this leader to grow tall, but I didn't notice this wire cutting in. So I think today I'm going to take that wire off and kind of see what we're left with, maybe do a little pruning. This tree's been inside for a week or two, and it's starting to lose. Some of the leaves are starting to turn yellow, which happens on my ficus trees when I bring them in. Light's just not as strong as they are outside. I do have them under grow lights and stuff, but still, my ficuses just are a little more finicky. They tend to not like being inside as much. My portulacarias are great, but my ficus, just for whatever reason, they just they struggle a little bit, but they just lose a few leaves. Yeah, but they end up growing back and rebounding just fine in the spring, so I'm not too concerned. But I think first, I think I might. I don't know if I want to cut some of this back first or take that wire off first, because my intent was to keep like a fairly short tree about in there and just kind of develop a whole new top and canopy. I probably let these sides grow a little bit too long and didn't tend to them, but I think we can still remedy it. I've got some wire on these back branches here, so yeah, I think we can still make something out of it. It's probably going to look a little drastic when I get done with it today, so I'm going to prune it back quite a bit. But yeah, I think I will go ahead and try to get some of this wire removed. And I don't think I'm going to try to unwind it. Now that I say that, I do have a piece that's loose up here, so let me see if I can unwind it without breaking anything. My original intent was that I was just going to start nipping at the wire and take it off, but this looks like it's unwinding fairly easy, so let's see how far I can get it to unwind. And these ficus branches are easier to manipulate and unwind than like a portulacaria because they're a little more brittle. All right, it's actually going pretty easy, so we'll just go ahead and continue unwinding that. And I've got it kind of double wired up to this other branch. So yeah, it's coming off pretty well, and it's nice when it works out like that, because now I have a nice thick piece of wire that I can reuse. Yeah, so it's a nice long piece of wire that I will set aside, and and reuse. Got some smaller diameter wire up here. I think that I'll probably go ahead and take that off too, just so then I don't forget about it and not have some more wire that's biting in. I'm not sure if I'll put any new wire back on. I might just let it recover from what we're going to do today, and then maybe wire it later on. I do have another piece over here that looks like it might be biting in just a touch. Yeah, this is much easier than unwiring a portulacaria. You can unwire portulacaria, but you got to really take your time, because it's really easy to snap a branch on those because they just don't like being bent that much. And I've got some more wire over here that it's biting in. Let's see where I've got this anchored in. And I'm sorry, you probably can't see a lot of this, what I'm doing, just because of all the leaves and stuff, but I'm just really just unwinding the wire from the branches. This is all part of it. All the wire. So I'm going to get in here and start pruning some of this back. Like I said, I'm just going to prune it here. This is another tree I didn't get to before I brought them in for the winter. But we'll take care of it today. Should have been pruning these a little more often as I was letting that central leader grow up, but I just didn't get to it. Anytime you trunk chop a tree, I mean, it's not going to be a finished tree very, very soon. It just takes a bit to regrow, and sometimes that regrowth doesn't come where you want it to, and kind of have to chop it back and start over. But like I said, this may be a little aggressive today, just to still want to keep some on, just because it's in the inside under grow lights, not ideal growing conditions, so I don't want to damage it too much. But you can see what I was trying to do is, since the trunk already started in this curve shape, I wanted to continue the leader, and then the trunk chop allowed me to taper it down, so it gets really small. You can see how thick this is down here, and then by the time I get up to this new leader that I'm growing, I continued the curve in it, but it's just a lot smaller diameter. And what I might end up doing even is going in here at some point and even carving the part of that trunk chop out. Since I've got branches that came out, I can further chop that trunk, kind of carve it back so the taper is a little more natural, instead of going from super thick out here to really narrow. But again, trunk chops are works in progress. Don't know that I want to take that down any, because I would like to have that thicken up a little bit more. So I don't think I'm going to take any length off the top. I'll just continue to take some of this growth here down. Just trying to keep looking at it to see if I like the width of the tree, and I kind of like the where it is there. And then the top, I think, is going to end up somewhere in here. That's kind of what I'm thinking, and just have kind of my dome canopy on it. But I've got, you know, decent front to back front to back depth on it, so it's looking good in that aspect. I need to have some more growth in the back here, so maybe I'll set the back closer to some grow lights. Go ahead and take this back some. And if this was spring and summer, I would be probably even more aggressive on taking some of these back. But like I said, I don't want to stress it a whole lot since it's still acclimating to being inside. So yeah, so I think that might do it for today. I'll get in here once I see new growth coming back after this prune. I will get in here and maybe start doing some, because I've got a bunch of branches coming out of the same spot where I trunk chopped it, and it's going to cause it to continue to swell. So I'll get in here probably next time, once I see this recover and maybe put on a little growth, I'll get in here and start selecting some of these branches to continue on with, and then thin those out and do some work on the trunk. But I think today that's the main goal, was to get that wire off that was biting in, kind of get it somewhat shape. And then next time, like I said, we'll continue to see what we want to do with the leader, and then get in here and start doing some branch selection. So with that, I think we will be done. Yep. So I'm going to give you a quick spin around of what we did here. Let's take some of these leaves off first. I just don't like to let the leaves stay on the soil. I don't want them decaying and whatever, just in case they had any critters or bugs. Just get them all off there and keep it clean. But there we go. So there's the front, there's the left side, there's the back, right side, and back to the front. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.